Welcome back everyone to Grow Machine. 33% of individuals who apply for different jobs, the first thing they look into in that job is the salary and the perks. So today's topic is something which is very related to that because we are going to talk about salary negotiations. After all those tough rounds, the technical, functional, managerial, HR, after all those rounds, when you actually get the news that you are being shortlisted for the final discussion round where you're going to discuss with the HR what are your perks, what is your salary breakup, what is going to be the fixed component, what is going to be the variable component, you really get excited. But the biggest mistake which people do is that they go for that session unprepared. And in this video, we are going to discuss something about that particular session which all of us have faced some or the other time in our career. And we must understand that this session is a very critical one, and the preparation you need for this is much more than the ones you needed for all those previous rounds. So stay tuned till the end. And before starting the video, please subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to stay updated. As I always say, let's get started. Welcome back, guys. There's an important thing I want to discuss before starting this session. That is, we all should keep the simple fact in mind that the HR we are talking to is someone who deals with candidates on a daily basis. It might be our fifth, sixth, or maybe 10th interview, but for him or her, it's like a daily job. So he has faced almost all different combination of candidates across industries, across skill sets, across areas. So just keep this in mind while talking to him or her, because this will help you in understanding more better and will help you in negotiating further. So let's start with our first point. The first point is do a detailed market research. It's very much important to know what you can talk of during the session, right? And to do that, there are different websites where you can get a good flavor of what is the average salary and the maximum salary for that particular role in that particular industry. Now, let's take an example. Let's say you are a business analyst. Now, a business analyst can be in different industries. A business analyst is there in a healthcare industry, in a banking industry, in a products industry. So, and the salary might differ for the same position in different industries. So before getting into the panel room or the call in that case, you should understand that you have a fair idea of what is that range that you are going to discuss with the HR. And also in websites like Glassdoor, you get the pay of the position in that particular company. So you can search that as well, and there might be people, you might be lucky enough that many people would have provided their comments, and that might actually add to your overall negotiation experience. So be mindful about it, have a good research. If you can connect with someone over LinkedIn who is ready to share, maybe an ex-employee or some of your friends who can discuss, I would not recommend talking to an existing employee because like people who are currently working in a particular industry, you know how these things are. You should never disclose your salary. And so I would recommend talk to some ex-employees. At least you don't need to ask them what was their exact pay, but at least you can ask them about what should be your ask. I mean, how should you negotiate, and what should be your ideal hike that you should ask to the HR. So be ready with that. The next point that is very much important, and I feel this is the most critical point, is that you need to stay calm during your salary negotiation. I've seen candidates where out of excitement, candidates always tend to say yes to everything what the HR says. And at the end of the day, you should understand that HR is also an employee, right? And for an HR, it is always good to have talented candidates as at lesser cost to the company, being hired, and if he is able to crack that, then trust me, he will get the brownie points during his or her appraisal. And I'm not saying that you should take their brownie points into your account, but yes, what you can do over there is that be a bit calm, be silent, try and understand what the other person is saying. Okay, don't get excited, don't be in a rush to answer the question what he or she is asking. Think over it, take a moment of pause, think over it, and try and understand if it is something that's acceptable to you, right? Because whatever role you are currently into, if you are switching or maybe you are joining after a gap, you need to understand that whether that particular pay scale or all those things that the company is offering to you is something which is beneficial to you or not, right? This, I must say, is the most important point, and you must be mindful about it. So quickly jumping down to step 3, um, try and understand the employer's constraint. This point is something which is very related to the current times, because during these times of pandemic, most industries have been affected, and serious pay cuts have been done. People have lost their jobs, and if you are someone who is going to switch or going to join after a long gap, you should understand that when there are pay cuts happening in those companies, if the company is trying to negotiate with you with a marginal fall in what your expectations are, then you should try and consider it and not be so rigid. Let's say, for example, you're asking for a 40% pay hike, but the company says that they're okay with 30% pay hike, and you don't seem to be much bothered about it, because it's like a win-win situation for them and for you, because they'll be able to hire a good candidate like you. Then I think you should not be too rigid during these times, and consider these situations as well, because these are the need of the hour. So uh, understanding them doesn't bring you to a losing position, right? The last and the final point that I would recommend to all my viewers is, please consider the overall deal. Don't be myopic when it comes to salary negotiation, because many people, just to get a higher pay, they get into the job and finally they complain, crib about it after a month or so. You would not never want to have that kind of situation, right? So make sure that you consider the overall deal. There are companies who offer decent salary, but the work life balance is phenomenal. They have medical insurance, they have sorts of facilities that a candidate wants. They have some cool reimbursements. I mean, you can reimburse your entire office setup at home. You can reimburse your internet expenses, your traveling expenses. They have performance based bonus, which is and not something which is only on papers. They actually give some good real bonus. There are some future travel prospects there might be, right? So all these things are really beneficial when it comes to a negotiation, and you need to understand that you need to keep all these things in account when you are actually discussing with the HR, especially when it comes to sectors where you can actually get these are my 4 important tips that I feel are very much required when it comes to salary negotiation during these times. I know you guys are giving a lot of interviews, and we would like to help you guys in terms of whatever we can. So I'm just giving in the description box below a link to our personal sessions. Like, you can have a free consultancy plan with us, where our experts will call you and talk to you regarding what kind of jobs you're looking for, and if we can actually help you get in touch with any employer, we would love to do that, right? Apart from that, if you want any profile builder plan from us, where you want us to build your entire profile, maybe you are giving a lot of interviews but you're seeing that you're not able to convert them, then definitely this is something which is way good for you. And because these are times when things are becoming really difficult, we have kept those plans at a very affordable prices, which is, I mean, like, affordable to anyone, right? So be mindful about it. Have a happy negotiation session. We will be back in the new year. Thank you so much. Catch you up in the next video.
Bye bye.